Hey guys, System here, and this is all the Mons. I myself am having a wonderful day. Hope you guys all are as well. Go jump forward to get back into this amazing pack. In between episodes, I went ahead and did some trading with some pneumatic raft traders, right? So you get these traders here. You actually need one of these charging stations inside a trader. Once you have that, you do your trading, get your stuff and things, and you're good to go. They have some really good trades though. So these finished PCBs are actually kind of a pain to make generally. So you make them like this, but they're unassembled. Then you have to run them through here or do it with etching acid. We get to bypass all that just by buying them straight from the trader. So it makes our life a lot easier. So I went ahead and did that. Also went ahead and traded for a bunch of these micro missiles. These are actually a component from the ATM Star themselves. Now we have a whole bunch of them. They're basically just heat-seeking missiles that you can use to target mobs. So just fire them. They'll just kind of fly off, blow things up, and do the thing. You can change settings on them, make them more accurate or less accurate, or do more damage. But honestly, I don't care. I just want them for the ATM Star. The other thing I did was go ahead and set up this barrel here with a lot of stuff we're going to be automating today, right? So there's going to be 3 different setups we're going to do. One is going to be for the player's transmitter, which is part of the ATM Star. The aerial interface, so that's another part of the Star. And then the last one is this one here, the blaze burner. And we're getting all 3 of these set up. Shouldn't take too long, should be pretty easy. Then we'll get to something else, right? So there's a lot of components with power, so I have them all kind of ready to go here. This transmitter is not too bad. You just need to get up to the top level of materials, which is the nitro crystal. That's going to be done with the energizing orb. Then the other part of it is going to be this here, the player aerial pearl. You need to use this base one on a zombie or a husk, and we need to do that kind of in an automated way. So we're going to get that done. Should be pretty easy. And since we have to do something with mob anyway, we'll set up the blaze burner, because this is pretty much made the same way. So you need to use a empty blaze burner on a mob to be able to get this one kind of automated as well. So we'll handle those kind of 2 at once. This thing here is used for wireless power, so that's kind of the main idea of this thing. We already have Flux Network, so we don't need it. This thing here is used to power crate machinery, so you could use it to like generate power or do some other things as well. Actually, it has quite a few functions if you actually really get into the mod, but we don't need it either. We just have the motors, and we're good in that regards, right? And the last component we're going to work on is going to be the aerial interface from Pneumatic Raft. This one here is a little weird. It actually is used to like interact with the player's inventory, make it so you can pipe items in and out, right? But we already have the expert card from 82, so we don't need it. It also going to do pressure, like wireless pressure into your inventory, which again we don't need because we're not using the Pneumatic Raft tools and armor, really. So we don't really need it for the pack, but it can do all kinds of really neat things. For this pack, we just need to craft this thing, because it's part of the ATM Star, and of course I would automate it. So the first thing we're going to automate will be the player's transmitter, right? So we'll work on that first and work on our materials, right? So we have quite a few materials kind of rank up through. We start off with energized steel, then we go to blazing crystal, niotic, spirited, all the way to nitro. Each one of them is going to take components that we need to kind of automate via the, what is this thing called? Energizing orb. And it's going to take a certain amount of power per tier, but it isn't too bad. It's actually pretty easy. Other than the nitro crystal, you can do all the other ones in block form or in single item form, but I'm going to do it in block form, but you could do it in either. So you could do it this way, or you could do it that way. The block form is just more efficient, really, because you have less coming in and out of the energizing orb, so less moving items, more time just charging it, right? So we're going to do it that way. Then I set the recipe so I can craft those blocks down into the agates or the crystals for each of them. So I think we got a good little spot here to automate the orb. We don't need a lot of space for this one, so we'll just do it right here. So I'm going to throw down this for some channels. Go ahead and give it channels. Then we're going to go ahead and throw down a provider pretty much right in front of it. Then grab an energizing orb, pop that on top so we can push the recipes in there the way we want. Then on the back list, we'll have a import bus, and then we'll have a cable. Now the way this works, it needs the rods to power it after it gets the items in it to charge up the items and charge the craft, and then it does the craft, right? So it needs to have the rods charge it. They can be a few blocks away. We'll get that set up here. Before we do that, though, we should go to here. This machine is dumb. By dumb, I don't mean it's lacking in intelligence. Basically, what I mean is usually that means one of 2 things. It's basically kind of speaks to the automation hurdles of a machine, right? So if I try to just import the items from the machine, it'll pull the things that's actually used to craft it. So say this energized steel, it would pull the iron or the gold. It also means it's the other hurdle that I could mean when I say it's a dumb machine, is this thing has 6 slots, and if I send 2 copies of this recipe at once, so 2 blocks of iron and 2 blocks of gold, it actually won't craft. It needs exactly 1 block of iron, 1 block of gold. So we need a way to kind of regulate that, right? 82 makes that really easy. We just go to here, click blocking mode, and set it to do not push crafting ingredients if inventory contains a pattern input. And that way it only let one kind of craft happen at a time. If there's a crafting recipe in that input, it won't send the next set of the recipe, so it won't flood it and make it so it won't work. So just like that, that one setting will make it so this thing will actually function the way you want, and you don't have to worry about all those extra slots or anything. That just sorts it out right there. So yeah, just a really easy way of handling it. 82 makes this really easy. With refined storage, it's a lot more work. You got to do redstone signal things. Not really hard, but it's just more settings, right? But either way, this is a super easy way of handling that. And we're just going to have the rods kind of float over it. They don't have to be over it, right? So it could be like any size. It could be a couple blocks away as well. You can actually have a whole lot of rods actually powering this thing all at once. I'm just going to have 9. Actually, I may do another row down here as well. We'll probably end up with about 16, I guess, in the end. But we'll start with the 9 here. One thing about these rods, too, is when you're connecting power cables, it has to be a power cable that actually has a buffer. Otherwise, they will not actually get powered. So something to be aware of there. Let's put these in our offhand and grab our stick. Yeah, we can just stick those, and that should handle that. And this machine's already pretty much ready to go. So let's go ahead and grab our recipes here. And we need to get those into the provider. So we'll just kind of get them all sorted out. I always have to put them in order, too, because I'm just like that. So anyway, that's good there. And if I go ahead and tell it to craft that now, so if I actually go ahead and tell it to craft, say, the energizing steel, tell it to make, I selected the wrong thing there, blocks of the steel, tell it to make like 5, it's going to get the items, it's going to start charging, and then it's going to get imported, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. I just need to accelerate that, and that'll actually handle that. But just like that, we have that fully automated, and that takes care of that completely. Then I'll go ahead and break these 9, right? Then I'm going to go ahead and grab the energize. I'm going to go ahead and put those in our offhand. I'm going to put these ones up here. There you go. I'm going to put these old ones back in the system. I'm going to work on the next material. So the way I'm going to do that is going to make it so we can do it real quick. And in the end, we'll have 18 of them. But like I said, I'm going to use 16 anyway. So it's not like I'm actually really wasting anything. Maybe a couple, but it doesn't really matter. These aren't materials I'm not too worried about at all. What is the next one? The next one is the blazing, right? Let's go blazing. I'm just going to tell it to make straight another 9 of these. There you go. And tell it to start. One thing to note, too, is when you're setting up these recipes, make sure you have substitutions enabled. If you don't have that enabled on the rods, they'll have metadata on them and won't be able to be used for the craft. So just make sure you have that on. You don't have to worry about it. But you can see it doesn't take very much time. Like we already have our next 9. Go up to our next tier. And yeah, just get to the last tier here. We just need to go through Niotic, Spirited, and then straight to the Nitro. And then we're pretty much done here either way. And just like that, I already got us up to the top level energizing rods. I'm just doing a batch of nitro crystals just to test it out here. You see here it's flying along, it's doing its thing. I already made 200 crystals. We have 9 up here, then another 7 on the bottom. So I just filled that out. Guess we just need some camo blocks, and we can get this pretty much all covered up. Looking pretty, and then we will be pretty much done with this. We need to work on the other part, though, which is going to be the aerial pearls, and then we'll have the full automation for this. And I can cover this all up with the camo blocks, right? So I can just go ahead and kind of right-click these onto the cables. And I'm pretty sure we can right-click it up. Yeah, we could even do it on that. So even the controller. And I think the provider as well, as long as we hold right-click. And here as well. So I'll kind of cover up everything. So yeah, you don't even see the cabling at all, which is amazing. And then I should be able to do the same thing up here as well. So just go ahead and right-click those onto everything. And I'm really liking these camo blocks. They're really good at hiding things. It's actually really cool. And that's all it's going to look like in the end. So just like that, we have the full setup. Looks nice and clean. And yeah, just really good all around. So that'll handle the energizing orb. That's already fully done. So the next thing we're going to work on here is going to be the aerial pearl, which we have to right-click the normal one onto a zombie or a husk. And the blaze burner, which has to be right-clicked onto a blaze. So we'll do both of those in a single setup, because that'll be probably the easiest way to do it. Gonna throw this down. I don't know what I used this before, but we'll need it quite a bit smaller than that. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and show that render too. That looks pretty good there. Probably want it a little taller though. So something like that. Then we'll probably have to shift that up. And hopefully, yeah, one more up, I guess. Yep. And that'll cover the entire area. Make sure it's good to best, which it is. We're going to want it set to target hostile. We could probably do all living, but I'm going to set it to hostile. And that should be effectively good enough to start the automation. We're going to do some more of this, but we need to go ahead and grab one of those aerials. So this is the normal one. So let's go ahead and grab that. I want to make sure it's actually working, so do that there. Go ahead and turn on the mob farm. Just do this part first. We'll wait for the blazes in a second here. And I need to see how these items are going to work. So it's gone. So did it drop and go into the backpack? It did. Okay. So what we'll do here is have it set up with a... I guess we'll put that there. So we'll throw down the controller, give that channels. Then we'll have a pattern provider. So that'll be there. Then we'll need a item collector there. And then we'll want to do a blacklist on the magnet in here, I guess. So we'll have a set to blacklist that. And then if I throw that down, it shouldn't get picked up now, right? That's what we want to see. And then I guess we'll have a collector set up here to pick up said arrow pearl in a good radius inside of the actual setup in here. Just need to get it kind of in the center and into a good size. Yeah, that should work just fine. And then let's go ahead and test one more of those, right? So go ahead and grab another one and drop that into here. Did it end up in there? Wait, did it end up in here? I heard the sound. I forgot to set it to allow. I always forget these are set to deny by default. So it was on deny by default, and that was the issue. But if I put one in here now, I should have 3 in the system. So it's working perfectly now and doing exactly what we needed to. So yeah, that was the issue. Now the blaze burner is going to be a little different, I believe. I think I already have that recipe in there too. Blaze, yeah, I already have the empty one. So let's go ahead and grab that. And if I put this into here, then I need to go ahead and turn the blazes on. So let's do that. They should start spawning. And this one doesn't actually drop the item, so we need to import it. And once we import it, that should satisfy the craft, and then we don't have to worry about this one either. We will have to filter this though, I guess, so we'll do that. And then it'll be the blaze burner. Do I have it over here? Yes, I do. We'll just do that. And then just give it a couple fluids, and that should handle that. And that. And hopefully it's gone. And in here we should have a blaze burner. So I'll handle that one as well. So basically all I have to do now is take these 2 recipes, do that. If I try to tell it to make a blaze burner, should happen pretty quick. I'll just have to throw some accelerations in the importer, I guess. And the other one should be fine. I don't have to worry about the... I was thinking I was going to have to filter these as well, but no, it's already filtered, so we don't have to worry about it. And I've already tested a few times, and I have this thing fully working, right? So it's actually going through the recipe here. It's doing all the stuff, things in the background, crafts all up, and we get our player transmitter, right? So it handles that really easy. This was working just fine. For some reason, when I craft these, it doesn't give me the message on the screen that I'm used to. So I thought it wasn't working. I thought it was totally derped. But yeah, it doesn't tell me that the recipe is complete. I don't know why it does that, but either way, it's doing the things that it needs to, and everything's working. So we are good. This is fully automated, and we already handled 2 more components of the ATM star, just like that. So they are already taken care of. So let's just go ahead and unpin all these, and we're going to move on to the aerial interface from Pneumatic Craft. So the next thing we're going to do is work on a little bit of Pneumatic Craft here. We have to do the assembly line. The only thing we really need from this are these advanced pressure tubes, right? So once we have these, we do this little setup with the assembly line, with the drill and the laser. I'll have to get the program as well. But use a block of compressed iron, and then you get yourself a advanced pressure tube, right? And with those, we can actually craft our actual aerial interfaces, right? So it should be a pretty easy setup. We are able to bypass pretty much all the progress in the mod because of traders, so that's actually a thing. Better grab yourself an export bus real quick. Pop that on here. We already got some channels. We're going to be using this here. It's an air compressor. The air compressor is going to be used to produce pressure, which is measured in bar with this mod. And with that, we'll be able to power our actual setup. And we'll feed that coal. And that should start getting coal and producing bar, which is what we want. We're going to want some safety upgrades. So If the machines get too much pressure in them, they actually explode, and we don't want that. Exploding machines are a bad thing. So what we have here is a safety upgrade. And safety upgrade is going to make it so when the pressure gets close to 5, which is the max for this machine here, right? So you see that 5 that it turns red. It'll actually spit out some of the pressure and get rid of it, right? Right now it's just venting in the world, and we need to deal with that. So we need to have kind of like a sealed line of it. You notice it's still kind of spewing out there. We're going to have that going to a charging station. I'm going to do this kind of in a compact way too. We're also going to need to power this up. This is the Amadrone tablet. It's basically like trading with Villager, but via a tablet. But we need to get some bar into there as well, so that's pressure. So we'll let that build up there for a couple minutes. Should have a security upgrade in there too, so this one can't blow up. Oh, this one can take 20 bar. I don't think it's an issue, but I'm going to do that either way. So that's good there. Then we need to go ahead and let that fill up there pretty quickly. I don't think we need a lot of bar to actually be able to trade. Once we have about 1, we can go ahead and trade here. I have a tank here as well, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that down. And we're going to have a cable, and then we'll have a, a storage bus. Just so we could do a trade. You have to have inventories to be able to do trading with this thing. And one of them is for liquid, and another one will be for items. So this one's going to be for the liquids here. I'm going to set it to extract only. And that should be good. That should be around the correct level of bar. So that looks good there. Oh, I meant to keep that in there. I meant to pull this out. Hit over here. Throw in a barrel on the top of that. Then I need to set the inventories for the tablet, right? So you need to go to 1, and then if it's like a barrel or a chest, then you can just shift or right click. That'll be the inventory where it's going to drop off the items and pick up the currency that's required to buy the items. And then we'll do the same thing here. And this one will be for liquids, right? And then we go ahead, head in here, grab ourselves a bunch of emeralds, because that will be our currency. And we'll go ahead and drop that off in here, because it needs to be able to see that in the barrel before we do the trade. Then we just need to come in here and buy the things we need. Now I need this here. I think you right click. Yeah, you right click. We need the assembly program, drill, and laser. Actually, somehow I got time fluid in here. Yeah, I got time fluid in here. How'd that happen? Actually, somehow I got time fluid in here. Actually, somehow in this tank I got time fluid. I have no idea how I did that. But anyway, I have this other medium one. So we'll go ahead and pop that down. And put that there. Hopefully it doesn't get time fluid. And now I should be able to actually buy what I wanted, right? So that's set to 1. And we can buy the liquid now. So let's actually set it to about 10 buckets. And then place the order. And then we should see drones appear here in a couple seconds. And they should pick up their emeralds that they require for the purchase. Here you go. Nice. And then they're going to leave. Then we should have some more drones come back. Drop off our items and our liquids as well. That one's there, and that one's there. There we go. We got 10 buckets of the lubricant. And then we should have our program in here as well, which is exactly what we want. Then we just go ahead and drop off the emeralds, because I don't really need those anymore. So do that. The liquid, I'll probably just grab that temporarily too, because I think I can just take that tank and use it to make our speed upgrades really quickly. Just like this. We already got 10. And that'll be mainly for our setup. Anyway, let's go ahead and grab our tank here. Throw that back down. Right here. And I should probably filter this as well. So I want that set to lubricant. So I think that was the problem before, right? Yeah, so it'll only store lubricant in there. So we need to go ahead and actually do the setup for our assembly line now, right? And the way we'll do that, it's going to be pretty easy. The assembly controller is going to require bar. So we're going to put that on top of the tube here. And we'll give that a safety upgrade. You get 5 bar. It'll explode as well. Exploding is a bad thing. So I moved the barrel and added a provider here. I'm just going to go ahead and add some blocks here so we can put down the rest of this, right? So there's a couple different machines here that we need to put down. First one is this, the assembly platform. And then we're going to have this one, an export, and then we should have another one called an import. So the import is going to import the items from the barrel. So that's what it's going to do. You can do it from an inventory that's up to 1 block away. And same with the export. So that's going to drop off the items when the recipe's done and put it back into the same barrel. You could do separate inventories. Like I could put this here, and then I could put one on the other one, right? So I could put this import over here and have the barrel over here. It can only do 1 block away, right? So it has to be within 1 block. So this way they could use the same thing though, so it'd be nice and compact. And then I guess we need the assembly laser as well. And that's going to probably sit right here. And then the last thing would be the drill. We'll just put that back here. Now inside this, we're going to want to have the assembly program, laser and drill. So the drill and laser. And that should handle that. And with that, this thing should be pretty much ready to go. This thing's really slow too, and that's why I actually wanted the speed upgrades. Because by default, it's really slow. So I didn't want to deal with that. Then we're going to go ahead and grab a hopper upgrade. So one of these, advanced hopper. I don't know if this is filtered to anything. We'll find out real quick. It is not. Can I filter these ones by drags? Yes, I can. So let's actually go ahead and grab our pipe. And then we want to set that to the bottom. And we want that on allow. And that should be good to filter. So it's going to only be able to pull out those items, which is the way we want it. And go ahead and grab the actual recipe. And this should be effectively done. If we actually jump up here so we can watch it. Go ahead and grab ourselves the tubes here. And tell it to make, say, 10 of them. So it does 2 recipes. Oh, I have the wrong recipe. What did I do here? Oh, I must have grabbed one from the quest. Good fix it either way. In here. Yeah, that's completely wrong. So the recipe is going to be this here. That looks much better. Then we'll go ahead and put that into there. And try that out again. So if I go ahead and try 10, it should do 2 recipes. There you go. It's going to grab the item. Start doing the crafting. Then this one should pick it up when it's done and drop it off. Look at that. Nice, right? And then it's going to do another one. So yeah, really easy to set up. Pretty cool. Really neat how it works. I wish it got utilized more. The assembly setup is actually really cool how it works. There you go. We've got 10 advanced pressure tubes, just like that. And then I guess the rest of it will be just the camel blocks, right? So we'll just do that. Get everything covered up. And I guess we cover this up as well. And that'll effectively handle the entirety of the setup. So yeah, there you go. We have that. And with that, we should be able to make our interface as well, right? So the interface, hopefully I have that recipe correct. And there you go, we have that done. Go, and that should register that. What were the other things we did? The blaze. Probably already had that in my inventory. And the other thing was the... What was the other thing we did? The transmitter, right? Transmitter. Still have them all in my inventory. And just registers all the quests. Because always forget to do that. So I figured it was time to go ahead and fight another ATM member, right? So I hunt down this structure here. This one is actually called Best Buy. It's Best Buy, so it's this one here. So that's pretty cool. And this one is one of the ATM members. I think it's Microwave is what it says. So we have to hunt this one down. You can't actually just summon them in because they have a structure. And then I think after this, there's one more structure we need to hunt down. And then we could just kind of fight the other ones. But anyway, that's the thing. So let's go ahead and hunt them down here. Looks like I saw them. There you go. Toshiba Microwave is who we're fighting. Oh, they started to fight automatically. Let's give this a go. We're fighting a Swampert here, which shouldn't be able to do much against my Dracovish, honestly. So, probably just go ahead. Oh, it's going to be a Mega. We may still one-shot him because Dracovish is just broken. So, we'll see how this works out for us. Yeah, yeah. See, Draco's just insane. I can't state enough how broken this Pokemon is. So anyway, we'll do that. Then we'll try Fish's Friend again. I don't even know this Pokemon. Lairon? No idea. It just dragged me out. So, just force swapped me. So, what is he? Okay, so I may switch back to you. Oh, I swapped in some new Pokemon too. So I'm trying out a Incineroar, because everyone tells me he's OP. And I put in my Amoonguss. It's because I'm not really using any support Pokemon. I really should be. But I have them in case I need them. I may go back to him though. Because that's kind of who I want in there. I think that's going to continue to mess him up. So anyway, we'll see how that works for us. Hopefully I don't get dragged out again. There you go. Got Lucario. One shot. Dracovish is so OP. It's so hard to want to swap him out unless he has a hard counter, right? And his weaknesses aren't what you think they would be, right? So it's Dragon and Fairy, right? So he's doesn't run into a lot of things that'll really just one-shot him, right? So Draco, well, he does tons of damage to everyone else. We go ahead and finish this guy off. Hopefully you get to attack first. We did. Yeah, we're already almost through his team. So half the team's gone. And Draco's not even really a Piplup. Are you serious? If you're going to do a Piplup, I may actually just heal. Because why not? Let's go ahead and grab a heal. There you go. Because I don't think a Piplup's going to do much against me. That's about what I expected. Then we'll just go ahead and get rid of Piplup. Let's see what we got left here. Okay, that's different. Oh, that's unfortunate that he's in here. I wish he was outside so I could have seen him. Ground on. I wish I could get him. He's going to probably wreck me. What is he? 4 times water. 2 times. Oh, actually, if we hit, we one-shot. I didn't realize he was 4 times water. Wow, okay. Well, Dracovish just pretty much ate this entire team. Can I finish it off? There you go. Dracovish just totally swept the entire team. They didn't even have a chance. That's actually hilarious. Gets so much money, too. Wait, did you not drop a badge? Oh, yeah, there you go. We got a microwave badge. So we got a badge, and we beat another ATM member, which is pretty cool. That's cool. It's got 5 of them done. Then we look in here, our remaining ones. Defeat all the ATM members at custom gyms. That must be like the last one. I seen this one in the other, so I already seen this, and we'll end up going there. But, yeah, that's definitely a thing. And apparently there's wandering ones. So the wandering ones, I'm guessing we can just summon them in. I wish it said their names, though, because that would make our life a lot easier. And there is one at a gym probably right here. So that would be in the other, I believe. Go to Elite Gym. I think that's where I saw it. So if we go into this, go to Elite. Yeah, it was in the other, and it was a really big one. It's pretty much the one that's on the start screen of the pack, right? So you see that building? That's the one that it is. Anyway, that was cool. That was easy. And Dracovish just totally just swept the entire team like it was nothing, actually. That was kind of funny. Just one heal. And I think I may go ahead and actually wrap this one up here. So as always, guys, like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. Really liked it. Hit that subscribe button. It is always appreciated. Well, you guys all have a good one. See you guys in the next video. Later.